Our guest speaker this morning is Mellema. And Anne has been a UU since she was a teenager in Los Angeles. She has returned throughout her life's journey to the hybrid UU Quaker meeting in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, where she lived as a young adult. From there, she attended a churchy UU in upstate New York. Anne is the mother of two and the grandmother of a 2-month-old granddaughter. Professionally, Anne was a public health nurse. Now she is here with us in Meadowview. The privately won't be for much longer. She's going back to that beloved high country, the high mountain desert of Colorado. And she will be California. And she will be near her daughter and granddaughter, Willow. Anne most often describes herself as a dancer and a searcher. Please welcome Anne to the podium, and she's going to talk with us about strategies for connecting. Anne?
Like I said, I've been in UU all my life, so I dressed today for UU. I've got my mother's unitary gold chalice necklace. This I got at a UU garage sale. The toad I got at GA one year. I went to Canada with 2 teenagers. It was crazy. And and I'm crazy nervous. Like, also glad I used to work.
You're among friends.
Yeah. So, let's take a breath together. In and out. We are present here. Now look around and notice a face less familiar. We are all present here, together, inclusive, including everyone. I always call myself an introvert. I lived mostly in my head, read a lot of books, did not play with others on the playground, got chosen last for teens. It's been a long haul from that isolated place to where I am now. And I can see that I've got a long ways to go. But what I've learned is connection is crucial. Who has heard of Hygge? Hygge? That was for sure how to pronounce it. It's a Scandinavian concept of cultivating coziness, a home that encourages people to be together in an intimate way. Comfy chairs, maybe a fire, or a porch swing and a big old rhododendron for privacy. Or my personal favorite, a kitchen table with chairs around, a bottomless pot of coffee, animated conversation, and the smell of something baking.
But
I've learned it's okay to set the stage for opportunities to connect. It's okay to make a list of people I want to get to know and drum up excuses to spend time with them. This talk is about connecting and communing for a happier me and a better world where people connect for positive change, for greater well-being for more of the people. I pulled a lot of the catchier phrases from the book Emergent Strategy by Adrienne Marie Brown because she was way farther on this trip than I am. She works in social justice circles while I'm still working on one-on-one relationships. But like she says, small-scale solutions impact the whole system.
we
live in a world of leaders and followers, rich and poor, me and the big bad other. We are taught to compete with each other in a scarcity-based economy, in denial of our abundance. Deadlines become the reason to take action, and that urgency-based thinking draws our energy away from long-term solutions. So how do we do better? How do we change the world? I'm sorry for myself, being as real and honest and self-loving as I can. And then I look at how I am with the people I'm in relationship with. Can I be honest and kind? No white lies, no omissions, just ask the questions I actually want answered. Can I acknowledge the power dynamics between us right out when I first notice them? I have a friend who's a bit dominant, and it has been a delicate dance to learn how to level the power dynamics between us so we can have nurturing two-way conversations. Actually, the friendship developed from that very negotiation. And can I relinquish Frankenstein that, looking for people who are the sum of perfect parts? Instead, can I see people as they are and be curious about what they've made of themselves? If I disagree with them, can I say, tell me about an experience that you had that led me to believe that? Because when we slow down and listen to the other, listen for their lived experiential wisdom, we get more information to shape the solutions that will work for more people. Now, I used to attend a UU in Syracuse, New York, a typical UU, educated and politically liberal. And we had one member who admitted to being conservative. He was attracted to UU for the non-creedal philosophy, so he worked hard to reach across the political divide and find alignment. He had learned the acronym PREP and taught it to us. And I'm going to teach it to you. First P is for persuade, as in persuasive, not abrasive. R is for relationship. Value the relationships with people in your community over making your political points. E is for entertain, and these are his words, I'm quoting. Entertain the possibility that your political opponent is not insane and they may even have a nugget of truth in the dribble they are starting to do. And the last key is for pause. Let's pause to hear the reactions or explanations after you speak. See if there is a possibility for a meeting of the minds. I think the deep listening to people's stories is how we connect. So be with you. It's tempting to have the best idea in the room and to sell my idea to everyone else. But the idea that grows out of shared conversation between everyone in the room, with attention to building trust, has greater potential to serve more people and to serve their shared vision. So here we are together, a UU congregation, a small community, a wonderful place to practice community building. And I'm trying to be mindful of my other communities of geography and shared interests. This is all fertile ground. What I do here is either a success, it's putting roots down to grow something positive, or it is a lesson. It's going to be compost for the next seed to pull from. Permaculture has taught me a lot about small-scale agriculture. Look to the land for where the sun and the wind and the water come in, and look to the people's needs for kitchen herbs and flowers, for fruit to can or cows to milk, for trees for summer shade. So too in the community. What are our assets? What are our needs? How do we use both to help our community thrive? How do we expand that to the next layer of community? I recently learned the term transformative justice, and it is a building block of healthy relationships and healthy communities. It goes something like this. Acknowledge harm done, find ways to interrupt or address the harm, look to community-created strategies more than government top-down strategies, that transform the root cause of the harm. We can use the practice of transformative justice in our community. I've used the noun practice. A practice is loosely defined as anything I do repetitively in my life. Some of them are good, some not so good. I practice reading till 2 in the morning. I practice dancing and hiking and 12-step meetings and eating locally grown food, starting projects I won't finish. I practice talking and listening. I practice challenging myself. As a UU community, we practice lay-led, thought-provoking Sunday services. We practice potluck lunches and social events. We practice filling the blessing box. We also practice let the inner circle do all the work. We practice gatekeeping. We practice I hate XYZ of politics. And we practice loving our kids. We practice friendship. And we practice supporting each other. It's good to acknowledge what we practice. I don't think I'm giving up reading till 2 in the morning, but at least I can choose it, maybe modify it rather than deny it. For me, the most important practice here is connection. This UU has given me an opening to connect with several people on a real friendship level, as well as opening me up to things I can do in the larger Southwest Virginia community. I think I first heard about community gardens here, and barter theater, and farmers market. It's all kind of comes back to having an opening. And that level of relationship changes me and helps me thrive. Coevolution is a change of a biological object triggered by the change of a related object. My friends, by sharing their struggles and questions and growth, trigger me to change who grows. In a group where trust and relationship is formed the foundation, alignment and vision and action toward that vision is more doable. Move at the speed of trust and you can actually get somewhere, even with widely divergent personalities. That friction, that bumping edges, makes space for new ideas. There is always enough time for the needed work. Build the resilience of the system by building the relationships. What you pay attention to grows. Change is coming, certainly climate change. So how do we survive in a different world? How do we prepare our children to be visionary and innovative in the face of suffering? How do we develop and teach resilience? Nature is fractal, repeating patterns at different scale. The same spirals on seashells can be found in the shape of galaxies. Well, social systems are fractal too. When we eliminate hierarchy and abuse in our personal relationships, we are a step closer to eliminating them in our larger communities, our towns and regions and government. We need to create patterns that cycle upwards. We are microsystems. Our friendships and families are systems. Our communities are systems. You know how an old wrong can skew a family so it barely functions? And when that harm is acknowledged and put to rights, everyone in the family benefits. When we've learned how to do that, when we've gained confidence that we can make it work, we can apply those skills to the larger systems too. In conclusion, here is an opportunity to cross-pollinate, to include where we might have excluded, to literally open the circle, to take in someone on the outskirts, to listen deeply and to trust. We want to get really good at community and pass on that skill. I set out some of my resources on a table in the coffee area, a book that I based a lot of this talk on called Emergent Strategy. Also my favorite poster from Syracuse cultural workers about, how to build community, and some other favorite books. And now, I would love to hear about your experiences.
Thank you, Anne.